Hey everyone, welcome to Cinema Safari. Today we are talking about the Christophers. So, The Christophers is a film by Steven Soderbergh, starring Ian McKellen, Michaela Cole, Jessica Gunning, and James Corden. So let's get right into it with The Christophers. So, The Christophers is a black comedy film directed by Steven Soderbergh, written by Ed Solomon. It stars Ian McKellen, Michaela Cole, Jessica Gunning, and James Corden. The film first premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival in September of last year and had a limited theatrical release this year starting on April 10th. It received very positive reviews, a lot of positive reviews by critics. So in the film, we see Ian McKellen as a well-known artist um, who's aging, and James Corden and Jessica Gunning play as children who hire a forger to finish some of his final paintings so they can sell them. Um, yeah, so they can sell them. And Michaela Cole plays the forger. So the film, it's received a lot of positive reviews, a lot of positive feedback. Having watched a lot of Soderbergh films over the years, it definitely felt a lot different than a lot of films that he has made in the past. And a big part of that is like I think he's known for like having a big twist in a lot of his films. And this was a very straightforward film. The plot was very straightforward. We knew exactly pretty much what was going to happen. There wasn't a twist in it. Some people like are joking that the twist is there is no twist. Um, so that was definitely a big thing. Very interesting having it be a Soderbergh film that is very straightforward as opposed to pretty much everything else he's done. Um, but it was a really good film, very strong. The performance is definitely a big part of the film. Um, I think that Ian McKellen and Michaela Cole definitely were at the top of their game. I think that this is a film that'll definitely have a lot of runs at the during the next award season. I feel like it's that definitely that type of film. So in the film, definitely had an engaging storyline. Um, the plot revolves around the master painter played by Ian McKellen and his children, and it's a very compelling narrative that keeps the viewers engaged throughout the film. Um, it is a film I think that's made for definitely a specific group or specific niche compared to um, certain films that are out there. So I definitely think that it's the type of film that you really have to like this kind of film to enjoy it. I don't necessarily think that it's the type of film that it's definitely not the type of film that's made for anyone to watch and enjoy. Can anyone enjoy it? Yeah, definitely, but it's definitely the story and the way it's made is definitely um, geared towards a certain type of audience. I feel like, but it was a really good film. I think that I definitely recommend it. There's a lot of positives going for it. Um, yeah, but for if you are very familiar with previous Soderbergh work, it didn't really feel necessarily like one of his works per se, because the plot felt different than what he's kind of known for. So that was kind of interesting, and I think that engaged certain people a little more that watched it, because it felt a little different from what we're used to from that director. So that was an interesting part of it too. So with that, we are going to wrap up today's episode. So The Christophers, definitely a film for a certain audience. I don't know if it's a film that everyone would necessarily enjoy watching, especially in theaters. With me, it's definitely a big debate about watching a movie in theaters, because you want to support the arts, but I feel like a lot of people, you know, at least right now in where we are in the world, they go to theaters to watch like the bigger like blockbuster movies for the most part. Not to say that like the smaller independent films don't receive, the audience showing up to the theater. But it's not necessarily as common or strong of a fan base that shows up to theater for this type of film, as opposed if you're comparing it to Project Hail Mary, which is a big sci-fi film. Um, but yeah, it's definitely a good film to watch. Definitely has a lot of positives for it. Definitely a very strong film, and the fact that it is more of an independent film um, is great, because there's so many great strong independent films, and especially where we are right now, we're trying to get those more into the limelight to get more of the recognition they deserve, and I think this film definitely helps with that. So next episode we will be talking about Lee Cronin's The Mummy, and kind of incorporating that with the rest of the Mummy franchise. There is a Mummy 4 coming out in 2028 with Brendan Fraser coming back, and I believe Rachel Weisz is also coming back for that, along with a couple other characters. So we'll be talking about all that. I'm excited for that, and as always, thank you for watching and your support. We will see you next time.